Welcome to StFX Coffee with the Coaches, brought to you by Tim Hortons, Canada's favorite coffee. I'm Corey LeBlanc of StFX Athletics. I'm joined today by the head coach of the StFX X-Women Rugby team, Mike Cavanagh. Thanks for coming in, Mike.
Thanks for having me, Corey.
The season 1 week under your belt, but let's backtrack a little bit and look at training camp for your team. A lot of returnees and a lot of new faces as well.
Yeah, we brought in about 17 new girls this year. The returnees came in very fit. We put in a lot of hard work last year in the off season from January to April, and it really showed. The training camp went really smooth. Everyone's fit, ready to roll. No injuries, and we were way ahead of schedule.
This is a program going for 17 in a row, AUS championships. Has one of the keys been, an obvious key has been the ability to recruit? And I know you're not a coach that waits to reload his program. You keep building it as you go along.
Yeah.
So you added a lot of pieces again this year.
Yeah, I think it's about this reloading every year. I mean, I think that if you get quality players, young players coming in, they're going to push your veteran players, and I think it's the competitiveness of our team that makes us so successful.
You had the 7-1 season last year in the dramatic AUS championship win over Acadia and a trip to the Nationals, a 5th place. How important is it it's a new year, but I know you have a lot of returnees that are still young, but you build on that? Are you looking back at that and taking from it for this season?
Oh, definitely. I think that it was a wake-up call for us last year. I think we're on a little bit of a high from our national championship, and we forgot all those little things that made us a championship team. I think we thought teams are going to roll over for us, and Acadia came here in our own backyard and really thumped us, and it opened their eyes and put the girls in the right direction again. So, you know, we're not taking anybody lightly this year. There's a couple good teams in our league. We're going to play it week to week, and I think as a team we're going to grow every week. I think we're going to get better. I think we're young. We're very athletic, and as I say, I think that every week we're going to get better.
And again, that brings that leadership, and you have those returnees that have been key parts of your teams in the past. So maybe talk a little bit about some of your key additions. I know you brought in 15 or 16, but I know you have some people that have made an impact already for your team.
Oh, definitely. We have Joanne Alfonso from Ajax, Ontario, a big athletic prop who is going to really make an impact in this league, and not just this league, across the country. She's powerful, she has speed, she has skill, she's the real deal, and once she realizes how good she is, she's going to be unstoppable. We have Anna Simmons from New Brunswick, who's going to play a little bit fly half for us and in the centers, and she's going to step right in now with Natalie Lesko injured, and I don't even think we're really going to miss a beat.
And you mentioned Natalie Lesko in the season opener against St. Mary's, a knee injury, and you said you're still waiting for a definitive diagnosis there.
Yeah, she's a tough young lady. If she can make it back this season, she will. So we'll wait and see. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, she'll be back. Hopefully, definitely for the playoffs.
To get back to that first opening match against St. Mary's, a 96-0 victory, and I know it was a balanced attack, and you liked what you saw for the first match of the season.
Definitely. The girls, as I mentioned earlier, had a great training camp. They were hungry to go up there and play. You know, every aspect of our game was strong. Our set pieces, our lineouts and our scrums. Our defense was very strong. We missed very few tackles, and we really moved the ball. Sometimes in those lopsided wins, people get greedy and they get away from the system, but we stuck to the system, and I was very impressed the way they played for the whole 80 minutes.
If I can, I'm going to get you to talk more broadly about the program and the alumni from the program. Of course, you had 4 former players: Amanda Thornborough, Tyson Bukaboom, Magali Harvey, and Olivia DeMerchant on the silver medal winning Canadian team. So that obviously was a big feather in the cap for your program and for those young women, of course.
Oh, it definitely was, and for how well they did there, no one really gave Canada much of a chance. You know, people were picking them to finish 4th or 5th. They really excelled on the field. You know, we could have had 2 more girls at that camp, Ghislaine Landry and Sarah Kajubi. I think they both turned down that to go to the World Cup, so we could have had 6 girls there. You know, all those girls at every level they played, I've watched them in high school and in provincial rugby and at StFX and national, and they've always succeeded and they've always rose to the occasion, and it's nice to see them finally get their just rewards.
To get back to your team for this season, for fans, of course, the season opener on Sunday afternoon here against UPEI, or the home opener, I should say. When your team's clicking on all cylinders, what can fans expect to see?
Exciting open rugby. We're going to move the ball this year. We're going to keep the ball this year, and I think that when the other team does have the ball, you're going to see a ferocious defense that goes and gets the ball back right away. We're going to score a lot of points. I think this team's well-rounded. We have great depth, and it's going to be an exciting year.
I know a lot can happen between now and November, I guess, or late October or early November, and you've experienced that already with a possible long time or lengthy injury to Natalie Lesko. But it sounds like if things develop the way you think they can, it wouldn't be surprising to be back in the national championship game.
That's our goal every year, and I think that if these girls develop, which I think they can, and if we stay relatively healthy, I think that we have a great shot at another national championship. I truly believe that this team will get better every week, and the effort they're putting in practice all week, and if we can just continue that into our games, I think we're going to be definitely a national contender.
Well, let's say cheers to another shot at a national championship.
Cheers.
Or at
Thanks.
least the 17th AUS championship to start in a row.
Good. Cheers. Thanks,
Great.
Corey.
Thanks, Mike. For Mike Cavanagh, I'm Corey LeBlanc for StFX Coffee with the Coaches, brought to you by Tim Hortons, Canada's favorite coffee.